The Battle of Wuzhang Plains was fought between the contending states of Cao Wei and Shu Han in 234 CE during the Three Kingdoms period. The battle was the fifth and last of a series of northern expeditions led by Shu's chancellor, Jugal, to attack Wei. Jugal fell ill and died during the stalemate, after which the Shu forces retreated. Background: in the spring of 234, Jugal led 100,000 troops through Zhe Pass after 3 years of preparation since his last northern expedition. At the same time, Jugal sent an emissary to Shu Han's ally state, Eastern Wu, hoping that Wu would attack Cao Wei concurrently. In April, Shu forces reached the Wuzhang Plains near the Wei River and made camp there. The Cao Wei commander, Sima Yi, was well prepared with a 200,000-strong army, which held a fortified position on the southern bank of the Wei River. The battle. Initial clashes. Guo Huai suggested that Sima Yi form a position in the northern part of the plains, since Jugal would likely strike there. Sima Yi agreed, and sent Guo Huai to set camp there. Shu forces attacked the Wei camp there while it was being built, but Guo Huai was able to hold them off. Stalemate. Sima Yi would not engage the Shu forces, instead trying to make the enemy retreat through attrition. Jugal understood the problem, and implemented the Tunshan system to sustain his troops. The Shu army awaited an agreed offensive by Wu for the moment to strike. However, Sun Quan's armies in the Huai River region were defeated by forces led by the Wei Emperor, Cao Rui, and succumbed to an endemic disease. Thus the stalemate remained in place and continued for hundreds of days. Shu forces tried to engage the Wei forces several times, but Sima Yi remained firmly in camp and refused to engage the enemy. In an attempt to provoke Sima Yi to attack him, Jugal sent women's clothing to Sima, suggesting that Sima should be a woman since he did not dare to attack him. Sima Yi's subordinates were enraged by the insult, but Sima himself remained calm. To appease his men, Sima Yi asked Cao Rui for permission to engage the enemy. Cao Rui understood the situation and sent Minister Xin Pai to persuade the Wei army to be patient. Death of Jugal in another attempt to force Sima Yi to go to battle. Jugal sent an emissary to urge Sima to fight him. However, Sima Yi refused to discuss military issues with the messenger, and instead inquired about Jugal daily tasks. The emissary replied that Jugal had been personally overseeing all affairs in the army, ranging from strategic planning to his men's daily meals, and that Jugal himself had not been eating and sleeping well. Sima Yi later told an aide that Jugal would not last long. In August, Jugal fell ill due to exhaustion, and his condition worsened day by day. News reached the Shu Emperor, Lu Shan, who sent Minister Li Fu to ask Jugal about future plans for Shu. Jugal replied that Jiang Wan could succeed him, and Fei could succeed Jiang. When Li Fu asked again about Fei's successor, Jugal fell silent. Li Fu then returned to the capital Chengdu. Jugal also gave instructions on how the Shu forces should withdraw back to Hanzhong. Yang Yi and Fei would lead the army while Jiang Wei and Wei Yan would lead a force to defend the rear. If Wei Yan disobeyed orders, the army would proceed on without him. Jugal eventually died at the age of 53 in the early autumn of 234. The Shu retreat. Following Jugal death, the Shu forces quietly withdrew from their camps while not revealing news of Zhuge's death. Sima Yi was convinced by the locals that Jugal had died, so he gave chase to the retreating enemy. Jiang Wei then had Yang Yi turn around and pretend to strike. Seeing this, Sima Yi feared that Jugal had faked his death to lure him out, and immediately retreated. Common folklore tells of a double, or a wooden statue, disguised as Jugal, driving Sima Yi away in this incident. Another folktale tells that Jiang Wei dressed up as Jugal In any case, word that Sima Yi fled from the already dead Jugal Liang spread, spawning a popular saying, "A dead Juga scares away a living Zhongda." When Sima Yi heard of such ridicule, he laughingly responded, "I can predict the living, but not the dead." News of Jugal Liang's death were kept secret until the Shu army had reached the safety of the Baoye Valley to return to Hanzhong. Sima Yi, fearful that the announcement was false and merely another opportunity for Jugal Liang to demonstrate his talent for ambuscade, hesitated to pursue. Only after his inspection of the empty Shu encampment did he resolve that pursuit was appropriate. However, upon reaching Baoye, Sima Yi decided that they had insufficient supplies to support the advance, so he ordered a retreat back to the Wei River. Aftermath. Conflict between Wei Yan and Yang Yi. Wei Yan, dismayed that the Shu forces are retreating, over the death of one man, gathered his men and rode ahead of the main army and raised the gallery road behind them to prevent the main army from returning home. Yang Yi, who held a personal grudge against Wei Yan, sent the Emperor Lushan a letter accusing Wei Yan of treason. Wei Yan did likewise against Yang Yi. Lushan asked Dongyun and Jiangwan for their opinions, and both were suspicious of Wei Yan. Lushan then sent Jiangwan to lead a force of imperial guards north to cope with the disorders. Later, Yang Yi led the main army through the mountains despite the loss of the gallery roads and confronted Wei Yan's detachment at Southern Valley Pass. There, Wei Yan sent troops to attack Yang Yi while Yang ordered Huang Ping to resist Wei Yan. Upon meeting, Wang Ping scolded Wei Yan. "His Excellency has died recently and his body has yet to turn cold. How dare you act this way?" Hearing this, Wei Yan's forces scattered, knowing their commander was in the wrong. Wei Yan, along with his sons and a few followers, fled to Hanzhong. Yang Yi sent Ma Dai to give chase, and soon Ma chopped off Wei Yan's head and sent it to Yang Yi. Yang Yi stepped on Wei Yan's head and issued orders for the extermination of Ai's clan. Jiangwan was about 10 li away from the capital Chengdu when he heard news of Wei Yan's death, so he returned. Long-term influences. After Jugal Liang's death, Jiangwan took his post, but Jiang was more interested in domestic affairs than military expansion. Thus the death of Jugal Liang ended a huge strategic threat to Kaowei, and the Wei court soon began development of ambitious public works. Sima Yi's success and subsequent rise in prominence paved the way for his grandson Sima Yan's founding of the Jin dynasty, which would eventually bring an end to the Three Kingdoms period.